I think she was quite known for her feisty personality. I think it's Charlotte who calls the shots and has everyone running rings around her.
The royal family has always lived under intense scrutiny, but nothing could have prepared the world for the unexpected revelation from one of its youngest and most cherished members. Princess Charlotte, just 9 years old, has stunned not only the monarchy, but the entire country, with a deeply personal and powerful message concerning her father, Prince William. This wasn't a simple slip of the tongue or an innocent child's comment. It was a bombshell that's left royal insiders reeling and the public in total shock. What did Charlotte say that has the nation talking? Why is this message being called the most emotionally charged moment the royal family has faced since the passing of Queen Elizabeth? And most importantly, how has Prince William responded to this unexpected storm? From family tensions behind palace walls to the new light this sheds on the future of the monarchy, we're diving deep into every angle of Charlotte's bold message. Brace yourselves, because what you're about to hear changes everything we thought we knew about Britain's most famous family. The message that rocked the royals. The moment Princess Charlotte's essay surfaced, the royal family was thrown into emotional and political turmoil. Her words, raw and unfiltered, peeled back the curtain on the inner struggles of her father, Prince William, revealing a vulnerable side rarely shown to the world. In the eyes of his daughter, he is not just the future king, but a man weighed down by expectations, constantly performing for the public while battling his own emotional storms behind the scenes. The essay's leak sparked intense debate across the UK and beyond. Was this a child's innocent honesty, or a subtle cry for help on behalf of a family under enormous pressure? Royal insiders were quick to downplay the message, claiming it was taken out of context. But the damage had already been done. For once, the fairy tale facade cracked, and people couldn't look away. What struck many was how deeply Charlotte understood her father's internal world. Her observation that he tries to smile even when he wants to cry resonated with thousands, especially those familiar with grief and the burden of duty. In one short essay, Charlotte humanized the future king far more than any royal press release ever could. Now questions swirl around the palace. Will this prompt a reevaluation of how the royal family manages their emotional well-being? Or will it be swept under the rug like so many royal embarrassments before? Regardless of how the institution responds, Charlotte's essay has already made its impact. It has forced the public, and perhaps even the royals themselves, to reckon with a painful truth. Behind the crowns and titles are real people, quietly hurting in silence. How the message leaked. The leak of Princess Charlotte's essay has ignited a firestorm across the British press and international media, exposing a side of the royal family the public rarely sees. Despite the palace's silence, multiple sources confirm that the essay was meant to stay within school walls. The emotional weight of Charlotte's words reportedly left her teacher deeply moved, so much so that they shared the essay in confidence with a close friend. That trust was broken when the friend, aware of the potential impact, passed the story to a well-connected royal reporter. By the next morning, the essay's quotes were plastered across headlines worldwide. This wasn't a calculated media play, it was a chain reaction set off by emotion and human curiosity. The leak has split public opinion. Some are outraged, calling it a gross invasion of privacy and a betrayal of a child's innocence. Others argue it was an essential moment of transparency, pulling back the curtain on the emotional realities of royal life. The virality of the essay speaks volumes. People were hungry for something real, something unscripted, from the monarchy. Charlotte's words did more than tug at heartstrings. They sparked national conversations about mental health, family expectations, and the cost of living in the public eye. For many, it was a sobering reminder that even the most privileged are not immune to emotional struggles. The palace now faces a dilemma: continue with damage control, or use this moment to embrace a more honest human image. Whatever path they choose, the way the message leaked has only heightened its impact. What began as a private school assignment is now a global talking point, and a challenge to the monarchy's tightly guarded image. Prince William's reaction. Prince William's reaction to Charlotte's essay was one of quiet devastation. According to palace insiders, he didn't respond with anger or defensiveness, but with an emotional stillness that spoke volumes. When he finished reading the leaked message, he reportedly whispered, "She's right," before withdrawing into deep thought. The words of his daughter had cut through the royal protocols and touched something deeply personal. William has long been determined to break the cycle of emotional suppression that plagued past generations of royals. He's made mental health advocacy a cornerstone of his public work, but Charlotte's candid reflection forced him to face a more personal truth. Despite his best efforts, the weight of the crown may still be trickling down to his children. It wasn't just a child's essay. It was a mirror to the quiet sacrifices he's made and the emotional toll it's had on his family. Witnesses say William became more introspective in the days following the leak, reportedly speaking at length with Catherine about how best to protect their children moving forward. The couple is said to be exploring ways to shield their young family from excessive media exposure and to allow their children more freedom outside the constraints of royal expectations. Charlotte's essay has shaken William in a way few events ever have. It forced him to acknowledge a painful reality, that even with all his efforts to shield his children, the burden of duty is still seeping into their lives. For a man constantly balancing the demands of monarchy and fatherhood, this moment has been a sobering reminder that the line between the two is thinner than he hoped. Princess Charlotte. Princess Charlotte may be young, but she's already proving she's more than just a charming figure in the royal spotlight. With every public appearance, she carries herself with a calm confidence that has captured the attention of both the media and royal observers. But it's her recent essay, full of emotional insight and quiet wisdom, that has truly set her apart. This wasn't the work of a child parroting adult sentiments. Charlotte's reflections showed an intuitive grasp of her father's emotional world, something many adults would struggle to articulate. Her words revealed not only a strong bond with Prince William, but also a remarkable emotional intelligence that suggests she's deeply tuned into the world around her. This capacity for empathy, paired with her natural composure, hints at the makings of a very different kind of royal figure. Insiders have long noted that Queen Elizabeth saw something familiar in Charlotte: an observant nature, a quiet resolve, and a seriousness well beyond her years. Those traits, once seen in the young Elizabeth, are now being noticed again in her great-granddaughter. It's not hard to imagine that one day Charlotte could become one of the most influential voices in the monarchy. More importantly, she may be ushering in a new royal ethos, one rooted not just in duty, but in genuine human connection. Her essay has already sparked conversations about mental health and emotional transparency in royal life. If this is any indication of the kind of presence she'll have as she grows, then Charlotte isn't just a royal kid. She's a symbol of what the future of the monarchy could become: empathetic, modern, and deeply human. Kate Middleton's quiet strength. In the midst of the emotional whirlwind surrounding Princess Charlotte's leaked essay, Kate Middleton has quietly emerged as the family's pillar of strength. While the world dissected Charlotte's words and Prince William wrestled with self-reflection, Kate remained composed, offering stability in a moment that could have unraveled the family's carefully managed image. Those close to the royals say Kate took immediate action, not to silence her daughter, but to support her. She reportedly sat down with Charlotte, helping her understand the weight of her words and the unintended consequences of their public release. But just as importantly, she validated Charlotte's feelings, affirming that it's okay to speak the truth, even when it's difficult. Kate's approach in this situation reflects her long-standing commitment to mental health advocacy. Through initiatives like Heads Together and her work on early childhood development, she has consistently emphasized the importance of emotional well-being. Charlotte's essay, though painful in its exposure, became a powerful real-life example of the very principles Kate champions: honesty, emotional awareness, and breaking down the stigma around mental health. Rather than retreat into silence or spin the story, Kate is reportedly encouraging a new level of emotional openness within the family. She's fostering an environment where George, Charlotte, and Louis can share their feelings without fear or shame. Behind closed doors, she's guiding them not just as a mother, but as a modern royal role model. Kate doesn't need to make grand speeches or issue press statements. Her influence lies in her quiet resilience and steady leadership. At a time when the royal family faces increasing scrutiny and shifting expectations, it's Kate who's setting the tone, balancing tradition with emotional truth and proving that true strength often comes without fanfare. Public reaction. The reaction from the public to Princess Charlotte's heartfelt essay was immediate, intense, and deeply emotional. Social media erupted within hours of the leak, with hashtags like #CharlotteSpeaks, #RoyalTruth, and #FutureQueen material trending across platforms. People from all walks of life chimed in, praising the young royal for her vulnerability and emotional depth. It wasn't just admiration, it was solidarity. Many shared personal stories of growing up with emotionally distant parents or feeling the weight of expectations, saying Charlotte's words struck a chord they hadn't expected. Some users went so far as to draw powerful parallels between Charlotte and her late grandmother, Princess Diana. Known for her empathy, authenticity, and willingness to speak out against the emotional isolation within the monarchy, Diana has remained a beloved figure even decades after her passing. For many, Charlotte's essay felt like a poignant echo of Diana's legacy, a reminder that the spirit of the people's princess still lives on through her granddaughter's courage and insight. On the flip side, royal traditionalists were rattled. Pundits and palace loyalists voiced concern that such emotional transparency, especially from someone so young, could chip away at the mystique and decorum the monarchy relies on. There were murmurs about maintaining the dignity of the crown, and fears that this might embolden more candid disclosures from within the royal family, something that makes the establishment uneasy. Yet, despite the pockets of criticism, the majority of public sentiment was overwhelmingly in Charlotte's favor. In today's age, where people crave authenticity over curated perfection, her essay was viewed not as a scandal, but as a breath of fresh air. It humanized the monarchy in a way polished speeches and staged appearances never could. For many, it was a reminder that even royalty carries unseen burdens, and sometimes it takes a child's voice to make the world truly listen. The future of monarchy. Princess Charlotte's essay may have done more than just spark a temporary media frenzy. It may have set the tone for a future monarchy that looks and feels drastically different from the one we've known. For centuries, the royal family has relied on a polished image built around restraint, mystery, and emotional stoicism. But Charlotte's message, raw, honest, and deeply human, has exposed the limitations of that model in today's world. The never complain, never explain ethos, once seen as a pillar of royal dignity, now appears outdated in a society that values emotional authenticity. Charlotte's words didn't just break protocol, they broke through to the public in a way that few royal statements ever have. And the response has made one thing clear: people are ready for a different kind of monarchy, one that doesn't just perform ceremonial duties but resonates on an emotional level with those it serves. This moment is already prompting internal reflection within the palace. Sources suggest that William and Kate are seriously considering how this shift in tone might influence their approach to public life and the future roles of their children. Instead of grooming the next generation to uphold stiff traditions, they may focus more on emotional intelligence, empathy, and real connection with the public. Charlotte, unintentionally or not, has become a symbol of what that future could look like. Her essay has proven that vulnerability can be powerful, even in a world built on composure. And if the monarchy is to survive the coming decades, it may need to adopt that same kind of openness, not as a strategy, but as a value. The ripple effects of this moment are just beginning to unfold. In challenging the old rules without even meaning to, Charlotte may have sparked the most important royal transformation of her generation. The monarchy may never be the same, and for many, that's a sign of hope. The Queen's legacy echoes in Charlotte's voice. While Queen Elizabeth II ruled with measured dignity, she also understood the power of silence. But even she, in her later years, began to embrace a more human approach, especially after the Diana tragedy and public pressure during modern crises. Charlotte's message, whether knowingly or not, channels that same transition. It's the evolution of a royal philosophy that once valued detachment, but now finds strength in authenticity. Many royal experts have noted the poetic nature of this moment. The Queen often referred to her great-grandchildren as the future, and Charlotte's words prove just how prophetic that was. She's not only shaping the monarchy's future, she's embodying its transformation. What's even more poignant is how closely this moment parallels Queen Elizabeth's own early years. Like Charlotte, Elizabeth was thrust into a spotlight far earlier than expected, and yet she rose to the occasion. Now it seems the mantle of quiet leadership and emotional clarity is being passed on through the unexpected honesty of a child. Behind closed doors, behind the regal facade of Kensington Palace, emotions have reportedly been running high in the aftermath of Princess Charlotte's leaked essay. While the public has rallied around the young royal's emotional honesty behind closed doors, the reaction has been far more complex. According to palace insiders, the mood has been tense, but not irreparably fractured. The initial shock of the leak reportedly shook the family, especially Prince William, who was blindsided by the public release of something so personal. However, those close to the couple say that rather than shutting down, it prompted deep conversations that had long been postponed. William is said to have become more intentional in spending quality time with George, Charlotte, and Louis, aiming to strengthen their emotional bond and foster trust in a way that's rarely prioritized in royal households. Kate Middleton has played a crucial role in mediating these moments, encouraging honest dialogue and making sure each child feels heard and supported. The couple is reportedly engaging in serious discussions about how much public exposure their children should have moving forward and whether it's time to rethink traditional expectations around royal upbringing. But this new direction hasn't been welcomed by everyone. Several senior royals are rumored to be outraged, viewing the essay's leak as a dangerous break from long-standing protocol. They worry that embracing emotional transparency could open the door to more personal disclosures, further weakening the institution's mystique and control over its public narrative. Still, some within the royal circle see an opportunity for genuine healing. "Maybe this is the crack that lets the light in," one insider remarked, suggesting that the royal family's survival may depend on evolving emotionally, not just structurally. Charlotte's message wasn't just a family issue, it became a mirror for the monarchy itself. Whether it leads to unity or more division remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: the palace can't pretend nothing has changed. As we reflect on this powerful moment, one question remains: what will the future hold for the royal family? Will Charlotte's message become a turning point in the way we view the monarchy? And how will Prince William adapt to this new level of emotional transparency? This moment has undoubtedly altered the course of history, but it's only the beginning. The royal family has been given an opportunity to evolve, to embrace a new era of emotional openness, and to demonstrate that the future of the monarchy lies not only in tradition, but in the honesty and authenticity of its members. What do you think about Princess Charlotte's bold message? How do you feel it will impact the future of the monarchy? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the royal drama, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on more thrilling stories that break wide open the lives of celebrities, royalty, and public figures. Until next time,